you, Glenn. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. It's going to be a tough race, I think. It's going to be, it's going to be a long way. So we've got to try and make these wet tyres last 17 laps. So it's going to be a tough race.
Playing for a bit of rain now that you've got those wets on. People starting a bit of dry line turning up.
Yeah, I'd prefer it if it just rained a little bit more, and then yeah, we can have a good go.
Showing us where the traction control kicks in at various points on the track.
Yeah, well, see, what it's saying is that the biggest traction control kick in at the moment is in the exit of turn 3 where it's picking the front wheel up.
Right.
Which is what it's complaining about. So we need to dumb it down there, but we need to make it more active back in here.
Okay, so you can isolate just that one spot.
To be Australian Superbike reigning champion again?
Yeah, look, it's really good to obviously end up being at the pinnacle of your sport that you choose to be at. But I obviously knew that we could do it because I've done it before. But it was very difficult being a privateer team with not as much support as some of the factory guys. But I've been there and seen everything that's you can and can't do in Superbike. So it was pretty straightforward. You got to have a good year, you got to have a bit of luck on your side. But for us, we did a really good job. And I mean, for me, I want to win 2 in a row because I haven't been able to do that. I won in 2008 and 2009. I went really close, but didn't manage to win 2 years in a row. But that probably wasn't completely all my fault. There was a few things that happened with the motorbike that sort of held me back from doing that. But this year I'd like to think that I can do it again because I want to prove that I am the best rider in this paddock, and we've definitely got the right tool and the right team to do the job with the BMW. It's just a matter of having a little bit of luck on your side, doing everything right on the day. And so far this year we probably haven't been able to show exactly what we've got. It's been really hard because I haven't actually had a chance to battle at the front other than maybe one race. So hopefully we can turn that around for the rest of this year and get some good results, because there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes for me and the rest of the team. And there's all this effort. You don't do it to come second and third, you do it because you want to win. So that's what we're going to try and do.
So BMW have made some changes to their 1000 from the 2011 model to the 2012. How do you think it compares?
Yeah, look, I think the new bike's definitely got a lot more power. The bike itself's probably a better bike. The biggest problem I think that we've found is that the control tyre this year is a lower grip tyre, and the bike itself's got more power. So last year we had a better tyre with more grip and we had less power, so it was easier to ride. This year it's become a bit more of a balancing act, trying to manage the power that you have and the amount of grip you can get out of the tyre for a certain amount of time. So we've been really working hard with the electronics, trying to make everything work properly, but it just hasn't, for one reason or another, on the day it hasn't been enough to win a race. But hopefully that will change.
So each year Australian Superbikes join the V8 supercars. How does being with the V8 supercar rounds compare to the standalone rounds, which is the Australian Superbike series.
Yeah, look, racing with the V8 supercars is great fun. You know, you don't get crowds like that at a normal standalone round. You know, they get massive crowds. We sign lots of posters, and the crowd seems to be really into the racing. And look, I'd rather go and race as a sideshow in front of, you know, 60,000 people than just race out with, you know, a couple of cows watching us from the sidelines. So I think it's definitely the future for superbikes is to go with the V8s, and it's a great atmosphere to be involved in, and I think yeah, it's something that we have to strive for as a group, the Australian Superbike paddock, to stay involved with the V8s.
Raceway has been resurfaced. How much has this changed for you as a rider?
Well, I mean, it hasn't really changed for me that much as far as what the job is to do. You still got to go as fast as you can no matter what the surface is, but I mean, for the team it's probably changed a little bit with the setup of the bikes. We're using different springs and different damping rates for the suspension, because it was such a unique track before with the big bumps that you had to set the bike up so it could ride the bumps and still drive forward off the turns with, you know, nearly full throttle. It's made it a lot smoother, a lot easier. I mean, I guess it's a lot easier on your line choice. You sort of take the old school lines where you're not really, you know, you just drive it right into the apex and then drive it out to the exit of the ripple strip on the outside. But before, you had to sort of take different lines to try and avoid the bumps in some places. So they've done a good job. It's really smooth, and yeah, there's a couple of bumps out there still going into the first corner, but it's going to make for some really good racing today.
So previously we've seen you represent the BMW brand in other ways besides just racing their motorcycles. The other night you were a speaker at the BMW Motorline store here in Queensland. It's a bit of a break for you from just racing motorcycles. How comfortable are you in speaking in front of over 100 people?
Yeah, look, it's something not, I don't think anybody ever gets comfortable doing it. For me, I don't have a problem speaking in front of people. I enjoy it because I want more people to understand our sport, understand what we do, because, you know, I think we've got a lot of fans, a lot of people that love racing and they enjoy to watch it, but I think we've got to offer more than just a race. You know, we've got to make ourselves, you know, you got to show your personality to the people, and when you're explaining some of the things that you do with a bike and how the team works together, it's kind of, you know, you've got to make sure that you break it down so it's not so difficult for them to understand. But I really enjoy it because every time we do a night like that, you gain a couple extra fans, and I know for sure it's worked really well for BMW because you know, I think it's helping me elevate BMW as a brand in superbike racing here in Australia, and I think it's helping them get that, you know, recognition on the track that they have a great bike and it's a competitive bike that anyone can buy, and you've basically got yourself a 200 horsepower superbike ready to go for the track.
So if people are watching this and they want to get a bit more information on you, you know, do you have a website or anything like that they can have a look at?
Yeah, my website is glenallerton.com.au, and you know, there's always plenty of updates and stuff on there about what we're doing, you know, as far as racing wise and what's happening off the track, because I do a lot of stuff with BMW with their GS Adventure rides as well. So there's always plenty going on, so it's good for people to be able to have a look on that. And also I've got a Twitter and a Facebook. It's just Glen Allerton on Twitter, and it's Glen Allerton on Facebook. There's a fan page there, so it's, you know, if you want to follow it, you can have a look. And there's always something going on. You know, we race fairly often, and look, there's going to be some exciting things happening in the next month or so.
You've been branching out overseas. Last year you competed at Brands Hatch with the BMW, and a series you've competed in for several years has been the Asian Superbike series. What led you to that series?
Yeah, look, a few years ago in 2002 I met a guy named Andrew Morris, and he's based in Singapore, and you know, has a lot to do with bike racing in Southeast Asia. So he invited me to come over and race for his team in the Supersport series, and I had a go at that, and yeah, just really enjoyed it. And then there was a period of about 3 or 4 years where he was involved with just the you know, setting up of the meetings, and he wasn't running a team, but then, you know, he still had the hunger to be involved in racing, and asked me to come back over. And we were really competitive in 2010 on the Yamaha in the Asian Supersport Series. We were racing all over Asia. We did a race in Japan, race in Indonesia, race in Malaysia, and all the way we did the first 3 rounds. I was leading the championship, but the team itself had a sponsor that decided they wanted to pull the pin, so, you know, it ended prematurely. But I had a lot of fun. It's a little bit different to racing here in Australia, and I mean, realistically, we're very lucky here in Australia. I don't think everyone in this paddock realises how lucky we are. I mean, if you look over there, there's that Suzuki Race-Safe car going around checking out the track. You know, they're making sure the track's clean. You got medical staff all over the track waiting for intervention if someone gets hurt. You just don't get that over in those Asian countries, and you know, I really enjoyed my experience doing it. But the level of support that we get here is huge as far as, you know, safety in Australia, and yeah, we're really lucky that we get that much support here. And yeah, I also raced in BSB, and that was tough. You know, I raced in the Superbike class, but I was on an Evo bike, which sort of put me in the second tier of the same group, but we were all in a big race together, and I learnt so much. I rode my ass off that day, and you know, it wasn't meant to be. I was going to finish on the podium in race 2 and ran out of fuel, so on the last lap, that was a bit of a bummer, a hard pill to swallow. But, you know, I really enjoyed it because the track was just amazing, and they had a huge crowd. And for just a Superbike race weekend, I couldn't believe the numbers that got through the gate. I think it was 75,000 people were there, so that was something special. And yeah, I'd obviously enjoy having another go over there, but we've just got to make sure that everything's right, and you can get yourself on a good bike.
You said previously you've got some pretty exciting things coming up in the next month. What are they?
We're going to go to Laguna Seca and do some racing in the AMA Superbike Series, so that should be really exciting to go to such an iconic track like Laguna Seca. I don't think there's anybody that's ever, you know, followed motorbike racing that wasn't interested in Laguna Seca because of the, you know, the corkscrew turn there. It looks amazing the way they drop down the hill, and I'm really excited to go there. It's the same weekend that MotoGP's on, and we've managed to, you know, through the help with the boys in the team, managed to get a lot of support through BMW and some other associated sponsors over there in America, because, you know, they want to expand into the sort of sports bike market. Obviously they got a good bike, the BMW, and it's a big market in America. It's the biggest motorcycle market in the world at the moment. And you know, we're just lucky enough to be in a position where, you know, we've got the backing from the factory, so we're going to go over there and have a few races. We probably do some races towards the end of the year as well, and hopefully have some fun and get some, you know, I plan on doing better than probably what everyone else thinks we can do, so hopefully it'll be fun.
Glenn, become a fan of his Facebook page, Glenn Allerton. You can also follow him on Twitter, which is Glenn Allerton, and go to his website, www.glenallerton.com.